Rage Live. Rage Live. Rage Live. Rage Live, god damn it. And we're fucking mad right now. Alright, welcome to Rage Live. Alan Wayne here, and I am joined by Guy Shea. I gotta fix his audio, though. His audio's terrible. This guy doesn't know how to do anything on the fucking anywhere. He doesn't know how to do anything on the Skypes or anything like that. He's back in the Stone Age. So I gotta fix it. God damn it. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah. Hello. Hello there. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Go. Let's see. Yeah. Hello. There you are. Say something,
Hello.
goddammit, you old bastard. Say something.
Hello.
Hello. Dude,
Are you there?
Are you on drugs right now?
No, the Skype's cutting in and out because it's wondrous.
Oh yeah, Skype is just wonderful, isn't it? Well, it's all I got, goddammit. I'm not exactly rich, you know. Jesus.
No.
So, all right. So, welcome to Rage Live, everyone. I am Alan Wayne, and with me is one of the most evil men in the history of radio, DJ Bad Guy himself, Guy Shea, just waking up from a fucking nappy poo, just like all old people do. They take naps. They just, nap in the middle of the day or whatever. Hello. So, or either that or he's on drugs. That wouldn't surprise me. That wouldn't surprise me one bit.
Oh, no. I was just looking at my cat's anus. It has some of that kitty litter stuck to it. But go ahead.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Great. Now I have a fucking...
It has like 2 kernels stuck to it. I don't know what to do.
Jesus
What's
Christ.
the etiquette? Should I wipe it or just ignore it? Maybe I shouldn't have said anything.
No, don't. Who are you to wipe a cat's ass, Guy Shea? You're fucking Guy Shea. You don't wipe any cat's ass. What's wrong with you?
That some abortion clinics, in the room where they put the fetuses, they actually call it the nursery.
That's not funny. Jesus Christ!
It is. It's called the nursery.
The nursery. What the fuck are they nursing?
Oh, they're fetuses. So they're not really babies. They're like mini-me babies.
They're fucking dead, though.
Well, duh. It'd be sort of bad to be an abortion clinic if they weren't dead. But I'm thinking if the fetus... why waste the fetus? I know that's offensive to some people. Get over yourself. Because they're dead babies.
Yeah.
It's not funny to talk about dead babies.
No. I'm
thinking since they're already dead, I was wondering how they package them. I'm serious. Do they put them in these little plastic things like those pickles you get at 7-Eleven? You ever see the pickles in plastic?
Can you imagine all the fucking kids wrapped up in plastic like that?
But I'm thinking, since they're already dead,
yeah,
why not honor them in some, I don't say morbid fashion, but you could have like an entire line of dead baby fetuses.
Jesus.
It's like, maybe like Barbies. And you could have accessories. Just a whole room of, well, there's a lot of people that can't have children and they're poor. And if they're poor and they can't have children, why not have a dead baby fetus as your special friend that you could adopt? I'm just thinking that's not a complete waste. And if you don't like it, you can flush it down the toilet without going to prison.
Well, that's true. And think about it. That is actually a good point. You could have like totally hair fetus. You could have Malibu fetus. You could have Hurricane Harvey fetus, in a little boat.
I thought you're a Christian. That's horrible. I'll pray for you.
What? Dude, Hurricane Harvey. I think that's a false flag. I'll just say it right now. This is a false flag. You think Harvey's racist?
Yeah, Trump did it. He obviously did it.
Yeah, he did to rid Houston. The same day he pardons Joe Arpaio, a Category 4 storm hits the south of Texas.
That doesn't bother me that he pardoned him. The guy was elected sheriff how many times? It's Arizona. It's not like it's a real state anyway. There's a lot of Mexicans there.
Yeah,
illegal
a ton
Mexicans. Now, I don't want to offend Mexicans because there's nothing wrong with Mexicans. I mean, look.
Say it with a straight face, guy. Come on.
So that's actually pretty.
What was that?
But these illegal Mexicans, or whatever, Central Americans, they're really short and low to the ground, dark. What I was trying to say about them, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah, Mexicans are cuddly. Mexican fetuses would be really small, actually. You could probably get an entire basket of Mexican fetuses where you could only have like 2 American white baby fetuses. No offense, black people.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, I'm
what would the other one be? By the crate?
Come with an EBT card. I'm just saying to help you out.
Jesus. And ladies and gentlemen,
Black
this is Trump's base.
Afro accessories, black baby fetus.
This is Trump's base right here. This is Trump's base talking about baby fetuses.
We can have a basket of deplorable fetuses for the Republicans. It would be great.
You can have a basket of deplorables.
I think it's a good idea. And they can donate to whoever needs it. Yeah.
Look, you'd have to get past the fact that it's fetuses. And some fetuses are creepy.
Maybe I'm saying it wrong. Is it feti? Because mice isn't meese. Maybe it's feti.
No, it's not feti.
Feti by Milton Bradley. No, feti is like fecal matter. That's not right. I don't know what it is. Dead babies. But you can't market a dead baby.
Well,
dead baby. Dead baby, Malibu dead baby doesn't come off right. So how about, it's how you say it too. If for instance, millennials look at Donald Trump, like, right away, you don't like him. But if you say Donald Trump, it sounds more patriotic. So I'm thinking if you say, you can't come off and go, baby fetus, because that sounds offensive. You're like, hey, we have baby fetuses here. I like that.
Well, they can't even carry a sign.
Stores have these cards where if you buy a coffee, you get a stamp. If you buy like 10 baby fetuses, the 11th one is on the house. 7-Eleven brings you dead baby feti cards, and black people, of course, can buy them on EBT. I don't want to leave black people out. I love my black people. I just love you. Yeah.
So you see what I have to deal with, ladies and gentlemen. You see that I'm dealing with the one, the only DJ Bad Guy here. One of the funny motherfuckers on anywhere, thinking about dead baby fetuses and how to market them. This is the kind of entertainment you get here, ladies and gentlemen, on Rage Live. So what's got you mad, Guy? What's got you mad right now?
Everybody but Fox News.
Everybody but Fox.
Well, for instance, okay, let's pick a topic. We can talk about Charlottesville, which is boring. Excuse me. I drank too many watermelon seeds. Give me a second. Sorry, blacks. Give me a second. I think I swallowed my tongue.
Hey, no, are you with us?
This thing in Charlottesville.
Yeah.
All right, that I understand. Okay, it's not cool to run somebody over and not cool, but that whole thing was it turned into a black-white thing, like everything does now. It's a black-white thing.
Yeah.
And the girl that was run over was white by a white guy, right? So
yeah, that's right.
All right, so he doesn't get as many points, obviously, in his death race card, but it's turned into a black-white thing now. I was okay with the whole scenario because it's 2 groups of lunatics, in my opinion. You got, a group of black radicals and a group of white radicals. They go to a hillbilly area, drink moonshine and probably Cavassier or gin and juice. They get all lit up, smoke some crack, and
Hennessy.
Right, whatever they drink. Hennessy, of course. Yeah, or Crown Royal, so they can have a little air.
Yeah.
Texas. But anyway, that aside, all of a sudden, people are covering up statues of Robert E. Lee. Now I'm thinking, this is a hashtag what the fuck situation. They're covering up statues of Robert E. Lee because everybody knows that Robert E. Lee, if he had a Ford pickup truck, he would obviously run over black babies. So the statues need to be covered, and immediately, you know how ridiculous that is? Okay, let's go with that mentality, that mindset.
Yeah.
By the way, a lot of this comes from Berkeley. Now the students, the essence, the basket of free speech.
Yes.
They're throwing
Yes.
firebombs at anybody that disagrees with what they're saying.
That's
But
right. They're
anyway,
burning their own shit up.
yes, and that's like in Ferguson when
Yeah.
I saw those just displaced victims, the black folks that were absolutely displaced and oppressed. So I saw nothing wrong with them burning down their own homes at all. I
Yeah.
totally agree. Black people,
Hey, you need
I
to
will
get
be right
something.
there with you. Black power.
Yeah. You need to get something better than an Obama phone if you're going to be calling in here, guy.
No. This is made by Asians. This is a Samsung non-flammable phone. It's the pre-flammable.
Oh, okay.
Is that yeah. And don't buy these people because they're not giving us any money. So fuck them.
There you go.
But anyway, getting back to it, tearing statues down. All right. So if we're using that mentality, the Colosseum in Rome needs to be bulldozed tomorrow, please. Can you get rid of that? Because of course they fed Christians who were Jewish, some of them Jewish converts. Nothing against you Jews. I'm sure you're right about Jesus. But anyway, you made a lot of money on the Bible. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is we need to tear it all down.
All of it.
Erase get rid of everything.
Blow up Mount Rushmore.
It's got to go. They're all racist.
Exactly.
Abraham
Mount Rushmore.
Lincoln, serious racist.
Yeah, he was. He was because he was. Yeah.
It's wonderful, like Malcolm X or people like that. And by the way, as far as
wow, you are cutting out. Get into a. You are cutting out big time, sir.
Well, this is obviously because you're in California.
Yeah, the liberals are hijacking my stream. The liberals are hijacking my stream. But yeah, I get you, man. I get you.
It's unfortunate technology. But anyway, it really is stupid. And if you're a young person, you probably don't have a work ethic out there. But that's fine. That's why we're here to oversee you. No offense, black people. The point I'm trying to make is this tearing down anything to do with history is stupid. It's stupid.
I agree.
I mean, absolutely stupid. Now, George Washington, look, the country was legal. It's like if you were going out to buy a sheep or a hog, but they don't talk, obviously, and they will eventually be in the movie Roots. But it had the same mentality. Just because they were slave owners at the time doesn't mean they oppressed these black folk that came from the jungle that were sold by tribes that overtook them and sold them to Jewish slave dealers who brought them to this country. Now, there's no excuse for slavery. It's a dirty, filthy business. But the bottom line was it was legal back then, and it wasn't like they were beating their slaves. I mean, obviously, once in a while, they'd probably poke one with a stick, a bad slave, like bad slave with a stick. But we're past that now. There are no slaves alive nowadays, except for white elderly men who have to pay taxes for people that get EBT. But other than us white tax-paying slaves, really, it's not even a situation. Blacks, homosexuals, trannies, I welcome them all into the men's room, honestly.
Well, yeah, you want to do something with the trannies and the blacks. Admit it. They get you a little...
Absolutely. I mean, why wouldn't you want to be defecating in a public restroom with no stall door and a chick with a dick is trying to figure out if the urinal or not? I mean, that's not an uncomfortable moment, right?
No, not at all.
I'm just
not
saying,
at all.
It's weird.
It would be absolutely fine.
What do you say? I mean, she turns around and goes, "Hey." I mean, and you're trying not to figure it out. There's breasts, and all of a sudden there's a dude jigger hanging out at the urinal, and you're like, "Okay, it all makes fucking sense to me." Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You want to use the toilet, but you got a beautiful pair of tits. I don't understand.
Right. Well, I wanted to even it out and make it fair, so I went into the public restroom of the women's room and took a shit in the sink.
And how did that work out? Did they look at you kind of funny?
Okay.
I went into the women's room of a gym once, and I didn't know I was going in there, and I didn't realize it until I saw some chick naked. It was really funny. That was a moment right there. I'm like, oh crap, I'm in the wrong restroom. I guess
Sounds
we don't
like
have to worry.
stalking. That's you just admit it that way.
Look, okay, you call it what
Yeah,
you
this
will. I
connection's
call it an
terrible.
accident. You call it what you will. I'll call it an accident. But yeah, listen. I mean, I get what you're saying about all of this. But Charlotte was. I mean, it was terrible what happened to those folks, and I mean those peaceful protesters. You know, those peaceful Antifa protesters were just minding their own business, and then all of a sudden, here come the Nazis. Hail Hitler! Ha ha!
Yeah. Well, first of all, I don't think that gives due credit to Nazis because the people that were representing white people there would have been the first to be gassed during World War II in Germany. Those would be undesirable people. They didn't meet the criteria. And the black and liberal, I'm sure, the tranny, whoever was being represented there, these are not normal side of that. These are people that group together and they bust themselves all over the country to raise havoc, and they don't represent anybody but themselves. This is a small, tiny group of people that don't represent any demographic in the United States at all. And of course, mass media blows it up into a major thing. Look, there was one death by a white idiot that ran over a white chick. That's it. And the two cops, you can't really, the helicopter crashed. It wasn't taken down by an RPG. So, I mean, you take that out of the scenario, this massive demonstration, about 200 people total, in the middle of a shitty place that nobody goes to, with people who weren't from there, went there to literally beat the shit out of each other. And then mainstream media, like it does, turns it into this major event that supposedly represents this large demographic of Americans. Not true, more fake news.
But Donald Trump comes out, and then he says there's blame on many sides, which I agree with, and he gets blistered for it. He gets blistered for it.
But he doesn't get blistered by America. He gets blistered by almost every single mainstream media, non-news entity. These op-ed news channels that are nothing but opinions 24 hours based on nothing, their own opinions. These were liberal mainstream media forums that backed the Democratic Party, got their ass handed to them, and that's why you see Fox Network, that was hated by the Obama administration, absolutely having a hard-on of pleasure because they get to rub it in CNN's face. All right, but the bottom line is Donald Trump didn't accidentally win it wasn't a close election.
No.
I mean, he handed Hillary Clinton her ass and took over places, voter-wise, delegates that almost historically are left-wing liberal Democrats. Now, he's not a Republican either, Donald Trump, by no means. Republican Party absolutely fucking hates him. They didn't want to back him. They still don't like him. And shitheads like John McCain disrupt whatever he does. But the bottom line is this. What, as far as a president, forget the tweets, forget whatever you're hearing in mainstream media, what is he physically doing wrong? I don't
think he's
America.
I don't think he's doing anything wrong, and I actually like tweets because he's going out and he's putting out his own news, he's putting out his own announcements because he doesn't trust the fake media, and I like that about Donald Trump. Some of his tweets are idiotic.
You're cutting in and out. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Some of his tweets are idiotic. Some of his tweets are...
We're being
being hijacked over here because there's way too much truth and honesty going on these airwaves. But the point is that Donald Trump, he just, I love the tweets. I love the fact that he goes out and he puts out his own agenda. I love that about it. And these little pansy asses like to come out and they like say, oh, our feelings are hurt. Oh, he doesn't support me. He doesn't have to support you. Why don't you try supporting yourself?
He was elected by, and a lot of people hate it, he was elected by the biggest demographic of Americans, which is white, working, lower middle class, working Americans.
That's
who
right.
historically has been silent over the last 30 years and watched our country dissolve. Now you have okay, here's an example. Transvestites want special conditions, special
Right.
laws, like homosexuals got,
Yeah.
excuse me, special laws.
Yeah.
For instance, hate crimes. The whole idea of a hate crime is ridiculous, being that, okay, murder's illegal.
No
But
shit.
if you use race in a murder, now it's super duper illegal. I mean, it's ridiculous. People want to be equal, yet they still refer to themselves
No.
by a skin color.
Guy,
We're-
pardon me.
Yep.
They do not want to be equal. People do not want to be equal. People want to win. That's what this is all about. Oppressed groups want to win. So-called oppressed groups want to win. They want rights that nobody else has. True.
Oh, absolutely.
They
But
want
here's the
rights
rule.
nobody else has. That's not equal. That they want to be ahead of it.
mankind. Throughout mankind, there's one rule that stays in fashion, will never change. The majority rules. That's the way it goes.
Right.
The majority rules. If you have a special interest that benefits the masses, the majority, okay. But for instance, this ridiculous transvestite thing that seems to be mesmerizing a small group of people in CNN. How many transvestites are there in the United States?
Oh shit.
I don't know.
Probably
I'm pretty sure they can fit into probably a room. Of those transvestites, how many actually want to go into the military? Because I don't see a line of trannies trying to get into the military. I mean, it's just, in my
Wouldn't that be
mind,
fun,
it's
though?
like you're at Saks Fifth Avenue picking out your makeup color and going, damn it, I wonder what goes well with camouflage. I just don't think that's a large group of people.
No, but
and
wouldn't
I
that
don't
be
think
great,
mainstream America gives a flying shit. Well,
Wouldn't that be great,
absolutely.
though?
Trannies in the army. Who wouldn't want to be the
Like
foxhole with a
imagine
tranny?
imagine the line at the recruiting office. Like it's all these like drag queens in evening gowns with hair.
Camouflage. Now, the big lip was not my reference towards black people, by the way. Yeah, I assume you were talking about Botox.
I was talking about Botox or some kind of enhancement. I wasn't saying all trannies are blacks and blacks are trannies. I forgot. We had to be careful. Even though we're rage, we have to be careful. You have to be careful about our rage.
Here's the thing. There's a lot of black people who backed Donald Trump in this election.
Hell yeah, there had to be.
These are the ones that are employed and educated.
Right.
Now, there's a large group of black people that don't vote. And the reason I say that, and that's not any kind of racial slur whatsoever, is that the blacks in America are basically 13 to 14% of our total population.
Yeah.
Right? Of which about 5% are in prison. Right? Now, if my math is correct, that leaves about 9%, of which 5% are female and or children.
Yeah.
Which is about 4% who aren't in prison or a female or child. Of that 4%, they commit 54% of violent crime in America.
Okay, but couldn't that be the cops?
Of the black population. Well, I'm not sure. That you can vote if you have a felony. So, of 2% of the black population in the United States, not a female, child, or incarcerated, or unable to vote. And I assume half of them are police. So the 1% of the black population in America that's allowed to vote, half of those, 0.5%, voted for Donald Trump. And I just want to say, he also represents black Americans.
Yeah.
He represents all Americans. So I'm not like on the Trump bandwagon. I like to play devil's advocate because Hillary Clinton was just a terrible, bad person. Very bad, very dirty person, very filthy people, the Clintons, very dirty.
Think she's had killed?
I don't know if she's been killed, but that's objective.
Yeah.
You can say, well, in Benghazi, when the Marines condemning her to save them, and she basically got found, that's sort of killing them.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
It
as
is.
far as contract murder, I don't the Clintons are creepy people. I mean, think about this. Bill Clinton, with that horribly disgusting, overweight woman having on her dress. I mean, this is what the president was famous for. And then I saw her kiss him on the lips. So I'm thinking,
yeah,
he's a dirty, filthy man, and she's a dirty, filthy woman. And of course, excuse me, I forgot what the question was. Guilty.
Guilty.
They were guilty.
Guilty.
We were talking about witch burning, right? No.
Yeah, no, not the witch trial. She would be guilty then.
I'm sure I wouldn't put it past her, but the bottom line was she wasn't going to do shit. We've had 30 years of presidents not doing shit since Reagan, and Reagan compared to Trump sucked too, if you think about it so far.
Well, Reagan's
the guy's been off in 6 months. Look what he's attempted. Reagan
was shot in that time, man. Give him some fucking slack. He got shot.
But Trump has attempted to do everything he said so far.
Well, yeah.
He's attempted to build the wall.
Yeah.
They don't want to do anything. They don't want to. He attempted to fix health care 3 times. The Senate wouldn't do it thanks to John McCain, because our war hero. By the way, look, the whole Vietnam conflict, okay, let's get over the 60s. You got your free coffee and your free meal at Denny's. Stop playing that record, dude. You got brain cancer.
Hey, McCain was in a POW camp for something like 5 years. That takes a lot of fucking guts.
What, to be caught?
Well, to be in an internment camp for 5 years and to survive.
They didn't say, "Hey, dude, you want to stay an extra year?" And he tried to raise his arms up, but he couldn't do it. No, the guy he caught. What are you going to do? You stay alive.
Yeah, well, we've done that.
It's like thanking Charles Manson for being in prison since the 60s or 70s. Way to go, Charlie.
No. He got treated a lot worse. All
right, well, being a prisoner of war does not make you a good fucking senator. Period.
Yeah, but you said get over Vietnam. He's still
quit playing that record every time he stops Congress, he stops the Senate from passing something good for America. I hear about him being a war hero. Well, I flushed twice. Do I get a cookie? Give me a fucking break.
God damn it. No, man. I'm just saying give credit where credit is due. That's all I'm saying. Is that
he was a great prisoner of war, but he sucks as a senator. How about that?
He sucks as a senator now because he's going against Trump.
To show touchdown, because I don't think he can lift his arms up.
He can't lift his arms up because he's sacrificed for our country. That still means more than a fucking small coffee.
On his underarms, on his white shirt. How do we really know what he did? How do we really know? Maybe he was in Ho Chi Minh Trail and he was like, sucky, $5 a long time. We weren't there.
So you're calling McCain a hooker? What the fuck, dude?
He could have been a hooker. I don't know how he lived that long. Look, if you lived 5 years as a POW, you were making friends over there. Think about it.
I don't think you're making friends living 5 years as a POW.
Eddie, I got knee pads. I don't know.
So now you're accusing John McCain of sucking Vietnamese cock to live.
That's why he got an STD where he can't lift his fucking arms. He's got the AIDS.
Jesus Christ. I don't think that's a symptom of AIDS. I don't think that's a symptom. He got the arm AIDS. He can't lift his arms because his arms have AIDS. Jesus
and now he's
Christ.
got brain AIDS. Think about it.
Jesus Christ. Now he's got brain AIDS. Is that what brain cancer is? Brain AIDS?
Yeah, he's in there in the Senate making important decisions that he's not making for America. Next thing you know, he's shitting in his depends. I think he should step down, really.
You know what? That's something I think we both agree on. If you have brain cancer, you should not be in Congress. That could really fuck with you.
You should be a public transit driver. That's what you should. Because they're obviously stupid. No offense.
Oh yeah, I'm sure none of the public transit might be listening to this shit show are actually going to take offense to that.
Large. Well, I've noticed, and I think it's a racist thing, that most bus drivers happen to be African American, which is a dumb terminology because none of them are from fucking Africa. See,
well, that is true.
That's the whole problem with this country. Everybody's a specialist. I mean, think about that. White people are just white. You're just white. You're just white. But that's an African American, or that's someone from Jamaica. That's a Jamaican American, or that's a Mexican American. You're just fucking white. Go over there. White people have become the biggest beta cuckolds in the world. This is why Trump is president. Finally, most white people pulled their head on the sand and said, you know what, fuck this shit. I want my slice of free shit too. So now we got a bunch of people that want free shit. So welcome to America.
Okay, so wait, you're saying that all of the white people who are engaged in the anti-Trump rhetoric and are going around and protesting all these places, they just want free shit.
Yes, absolutely, free attention. Think, if you go to a millennial, most millennials, and you ask them why they don't want Donald Trump as president, I guarantee you they'll be hard-pressed to actually give you a legitimate answer because they saw it on YouTube, and there was probably a parody thing they watched. They don't know what they're mad at. They don't know what they're protesting.
Well, they need something to protest because people always need something to protest.
Okay, what would you like to replace it with? That's my question. Okay, there's a problem. All right, we're going to agree with you. There's a problem. Let's get rid of him. Let's replace him with what?
You can't replace him with Pence. He's a fucking nut job.
Absolutely. I mean, this is what you got, America. So at least he's saying, and this guy, I'm going to give him credit for being absolutely honest. Yeah. He might be the biggest dick in the world, but he's honest. His tactics, how he goes about it, is offending people because we're used to these mealy-mouthed presidents giving you lip service and acting what we like to call presidential. He's not acting president. Oh, fuck him acting. Get me fucking health insurance. I don't give a shit how you act. Show up in your fucking underwear. Get health insurance.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, he is trying to do everything he set out to do. He's trying to do everything he set out to do. He wants him to. I think he's one of the most proactive presidents in history. But I mean,
6 months.
I don't think people are ready for this type of president. Yes, I don't think a lot of people are ready for it.
People like to talk about talking about doing things.
Right.
But when it comes time for action, very little ever happens. Bureaucracy, we're used to our government really not accomplishing anything, always talking about accomplish. Look at Israel and the West Bank. We're always intervening and going on since 1945. Nothing gets done. The Middle East, nothing gets done. It's always a work in progress. It's going, let's throw money at this, but we never resolve it. Maybe they'll forget about it. Hell, we're still talking about Roe versus Wade. If you're not familiar with that.
Oh, I'm totally familiar with that.
The millennials don't know what that is. They're trying to Google it right now. Give them a second. Because they didn't spend a lot of time in history. They were watching tranny bathroom programs on YouTube, which is educational, by the way. Flipping in a urinal. Chicks with not a good idea.
Not to cut you off from your trannies and urinals and all that stuff, but I just saw that North Korea just launched a missile over Japan.
Yep, bad idea.
Bad idea.
Let's talk about that a minute. All right, North Korea, and this is something Mrs. DJ Bad Guys, I couldn't understand how the leader of North Korea is so aware how small and insignificant his country is.
Wait a minute, let me tell you something. I've been researching this, and the people there think he's a god. They think he was born they think Kim Jong-il was born like Jesus.
Right, they have been so removed from reality, media. They don't have Twitter. They don't have YouTube. That's what the world really has developed since the 50s. Yeah, so they've been brought up this entire culture thinking they're this mega military power and untouchable, which, by the way, the only reason they exist is because China has saved them since the Korean War. That's the only reason they haven't been stomped out of existence.
The other day when they started talking about missiles to Guam, China's like, "Hey, we ain't got you here. We don't want none of this."
Here we go. And Russia backed out too, and that's directly because of Donald Trump. For the first time in history, China and Russia said, well, fuck you, North Korea. You're on your own, bitch.
You're on your own, yeah, because they know
These
Trump.
missile tests are going
fuck
to
'em
end
over.
up being the end of North Korea. I think what you're going to see, maybe, well, North Korea is about ready to lose their status as a actual country.
Yeah.
I think you may see China and South Korea actually split up North Korea, a divide.
You think they're going to take them
deal.
over? You think they're going to take them
Absolutely.
over?
We're not going to. China doesn't want to fuck with us because they have 30% of their economy invested in us.
Yeah, through real estate, among other things.
Right, and the rest of the world would just like to pound the shit out of North Korea anyway.
That's true.
And firing over Japan will cause a war. China hates Japan historically.
Right.
China does not want Japan attacking North Korea. So the best way to end this, obviously, North Korea is not going to do it with diplomacy. And they're firing missiles nonstop. And the rhetoric is direct threats, which is an act of war anyway.
Yeah.
So I think what you're going to see is China and South Korea, through us, are going to barter a deal where we just sort of eliminate North Korea. I don't think it'll come to like bombing and so forth, because I think North Korea will immediately step down the minute China invades them. And South Korea from the south, you're not going anywhere. You're on a fucking island. I mean, it's not like you can leave. Or here's the other scenario, which is more practical. It's going to look like an assassination from within his own country, but Fat Boy, some of young cum guy, is going to get his head blown off, and they'll blame it on one of his family members, and they'll just sort of transcend into a better example of a third world country, because they're not going to allow them to keep shooting missiles over Japan. It's not going to happen.
Well, the timing's interesting. The timing's interesting because we're all about Hurricane Harvey. We're all about Sheriff Joe Arpaio getting pardoned. And he just goes, you know what? I'm just going to sneak a missile over Japan. I mean, it's like we're not going to fucking notice that.
Yeah, the entire world. When Russia agrees with North Korea, who supplies North Korea, as well as China, they supply North Korea.
Right.
When they say, fuck you, you're in trouble. You have no more friends. That's it. Now
Exactly.
it's just you.
Exactly.
Especially China. Now, here's an interesting thing, because North Korea has been Iran's really good buddy.
Oh, yeah.
And for the first time, you see Iran starting to execute people from ISIS recently. Think about this. The Iranian government is executing terrorists.
And why would that be?
It's just all making sense.
And
now,
why
for
would
the
that be?
The timing's beautiful.
Yeah.
And if you think about this, and by the way, maybe Spain will learn now, like France did, that a lot of these so-called Islamic-friendly countries that would be the hotbed of terrorism and murdering children are the same countries over and over and over who seem to not eradicate these people who come from their own countries.
You know who's actually not going to change is Germany. Why is it always got to be Germany that's fucking like anti everybody else? Like France, okay, they're like, okay, we got attacked a couple times, we got to calm down on this, bring everyone in shit. Trump's like, don't bring anyone in. And Germany's like, fuck you guys, we're going to be an open country.
Right. Well, Germany's had this, the Green Party, ever since the elimination, and they're still getting over the Hitler phenomenon. They got to prove it's like overcompensating for a small penis.
Yeah.
They're wearing tighter pants. They're like, look, ciao, we're really the cool Germans. Deep inside them, they all got Zyklon B and shit in their basements, but deep inside, that's how they are. But they want to show the world like Germans now, like the Swiss now, the good Germans. But deep down, the Germans come from their legacy. What was it? The Goths, not the Gothics. Those are depressing white people with black hair.
The Celts, right? The Celts?
No, the Celts. No. I can't remember what it was. I have to refresh my memory. This crack's killing my. But
yeah, you gotta stop it with the crack,
anyway,
dude.
They came from tribal people. I was going to say bestiality. That's not the right term. They came from tribes that were very violent, and they had to fight off the Romans and so forth. There's a lot of Roman. Anyway,
I think it's the Visigoths you're thinking about. I think it is the Goths.
No, it's not. Yeah, it might be the Goths. I think it is the Goths. Anyway, very violent, and they worship trees and pagan gods, which is why we celebrate Christmas now, because we
Exactly.
celebrate the god of evergreens, which is an important god in the Goth religion, very important, because it brought the scent of pine, and it also brought the image of tar into a Caucasian home, which is pine tar, which reminded you of baseball, which made you eat apple pie and buy shit from Jews to be friendly.
Guy, you got it all. You got it all figured out, man. That's like history in a nutshell. Tar and pine tar and baseball and apple pie.
You got all figured Bible, out. You'll see that the Easter Bunny on the third day came out of his hole and guaranteed there'd be Christmas. There you go. Amen.
And the Tooth Fairy on the fourth day flew in. Yes, the Tooth Fairy is a tranny who uses a public restroom, who uses one of those everybody restrooms, and drops some special tooth oil on the kids.
What a sick holiday if you think about it.
Yeah, really sick, right?
Yeah,
really.
Somebody's going to break into your kid's room, take one of their body parts, and give them money. It's it's black market kidneys and livers. Hey, let's think my leg's fucking missing, but I got a $10 bill under my pillow.
Let's think about this. Okay, you talk about Christmas. An old man breaks in and gives you toys. Isn't that like kind of weird in today's society?
Yeah, but you got to be asleep while he lures you into the living room while he's drinking some warm milk, and he watched you to pet his reindeer. Something totally disturbing about this holiday, people. And he starts singing Jingle Bells.
You talk about the Lord has come. You talk about decking the halls.
Think about it. Every time you go to the mall, Santa Claus is constantly going up to underage adult children. Would you sit in my lap? I'll give you a candy cane. Something totally disturbing about this.
And then you have okay, Easter Bunny, in a 6-foot fucking bunny, you have to sit on a 6-foot rabbit's lap, and then you get candy. It is all disturbing. Ruined holidays for me. Jesus, thank you.
Yeah, it's very confusing when you see Black Santa. I don't know how that goes. And I'm pretty sure in L.A., maybe Compton, where there's, I don't know, Black Santa, if he runs down the sidewalk with that
Mexican
bag.
Santas. Yeah, there's Mexican Santas, man. You got Latino Santas.
Yeah, but Mexicans, they don't celebrate Christian holidays. They celebrate the Yata of Pin, which is a very famous Hispanic holiday that was originally developed in Colombia, in an opium field probably. But what they did is they celebrate their god, and they call him Montezuma. And in celebration of Montezuma, because he was very drunk god, very happy but drunk god, they would take a stick and beat this piñata, celebrating the head figure of the Mexican people. Amen.
Wait a minute. That's a little disturbing when you think about it too. You put an animal up on a fucking string, you beat it, and then you eat its innards.
Well, that's tenderizing in Mexico.
Fucking disturbing, dude.
They don't have actual meat there, so they have to do the best they can do.
Oh,
now, that's why they're very short, because if you were born in South America or a Hispanic country, you must realize that you're probably going to eat bugs. So you want to be closer to the ground so you can see centipedes and grab them and put them in tacos and delicious edibles as such. Thank you. Which is why they do coke, because they want to be wide awake for their starvation. Very important. Not to fall asleep when you're starving to death, because someone may in fact eat you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is World History with Guy Shea. We're going to play a little break. It's going to be about 20 seconds, but when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about Sheriff Joe, Hurricane Harvey, and other stuff. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. He is a suburban husband who hates his life. He is an has-been old fart. Together, they create rage. Rage Live on Spreaker.com. All right, I gave you about 20 seconds there. Are you done masturbating over your own theories?
No, you were breathing real weird during that break, by the way. It was sort of creepy. I'm just saying. I have headphones on, so you're like, I don't know what you were doing.
Look, I can't help myself. Whenever I hear Guy Shea, I just got to fap. That's the only.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes back to your old shows, the fapathons.
Yeah.
So,
I have no idea what you're talking about, but yeah.
Right. Sheriff Joe Arpaio get pardoned. He's 85 years old. He's why even prosecute him in the first place? He was just trying to do his job. Why even prosecute him?
Who cares? I mean, think about it. That's sort of non-news. I don't want to burst your bubble there. Yeah, it's not news. That's most Americans aren't going, oh God, he pardoned that old 85-year-old sheriff who used to make criminals wear pink stripes in Arizona. For predominantly Hispanic anyway. Nobody cares.
All right,
it's non-news.
Move on.
Yeah, fuck that one. Move on.
I have a theory about. Okay, Hurricane Harvey. I have a theory about Hurricane Harvey.
Racist.
Wouldn't that be just the worst false flag in the history of mankind? Think about it. Like, you have this flooding, and it's all like set up so that Donald Trump can look good for the response, because so far Donald Trump's looking real good. People are getting rescued. What?
Historically exemplary.
People are getting rescued.
What no other president's done.
No, he can't.
Honestly.
He can't be doing this. This is Donald Trump we're talking about. Him being responsible for the safety and the lives of millions of people out there, and him actually nailing it. I think it's been set up at the House. It can't. This can't be real. Houston is dry. This can't be real.
He stuck his generals, who he put in his White House staff, in charge, and what they did, knowing the storm was coming there, they treated this like a military operation.
Right.
And they regionally put supply chains in the areas ahead of time. Something that Bush couldn't figure out, something that Obama failed at horribly. He made FEMA be on site prior to the storms. He made the National Guard, through the governors, be on site prior to the storms.
Right.
The only mistake I've seen is a non-Trump mistake, where the mayor of Houston told 2.8 million people don't evacuate.
Wait. That was not a mistake.
Evacuate.
That was not a mistake, and I'll tell you why.
Absolutely, ahead of time.
This was not a mistake, and I'll tell you why. Say you have a city like Houston that has more like 6 million, okay? Say you have that city, and you go, hey, everybody, there's a storm coming. It's going to drop a shitload of rain on us. Everybody get out, now! And those people end up going to the roads, and those people end up going the wrong way, and those people end up... And they get stuck on the roads during this storm. Hundreds of people would have died. Thousands of people.
That it would be a Category 3 or 4 hurricane.
Yes.
In fact, this is the first time I think the weather people, meteorologists, absolutely nailed what was going to happen.
Yeah,
I don't recall
spot on.
This act before.
Spot on.
When that mayor, by the way, who's a Democrat of Houston and a liberal and a fool, told them don't evacuate, they could have had plans, because they knew 7 days ahead of time what was coming, what might happen, in a high probability that it would, that there could be a planned, as best as you can, organized evacuation. They did this in some of the other cities where they closed down both sides of the highway and you can only leave, and they added extra lanes in dirt, if need be, to move people out of the general ground zero area. Now the problem is you have 2.8 million people stuck in a dangerous floodplain, yet to be seen if they survive or not.
They might be stuck anyway, though. They might be stuck anyway. You can make roads, you can make all this stuff, but you're still hurting these people out of the city. And that doesn't end well.
Well, leaving people in a floodplain with no way to feed them, rescue them, or electric may not be the best answer to it either. I think the mayor thought, like a lot of people do, we have this here in Florida counseling where you have this threat. Oh, you're going to have this major storm. It's going to wipe everything out. Then it bounces up to North Carolina. It happens all the time.
Yep.
And they finally got nailed.
Or it breaks up.
Corpus Christi, those areas, Galveston, they knew they were going to get fucked up.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I don't think they anticipated it would be that bad in Houston. And it is. And now they have a problem. Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah.
Because this is the 4th largest city in the United States. And it's more than 2.8 million, but 2.8 million are in trouble. That's a lot of people. You can't rescue 2.8 million people, no matter who the president is.
But how do you move 2.8 million people? What you said earlier...
You could have had 1 million people in the floodplain right now instead of 2.8 million. And there's always going to be accidents and so forth. But, hey, better safe than sorry. Staying where you know it's going to flood is not really a good plan.
Well, what you said earlier works for cities of like 50,000 people, but you're talking about a metropolitan area. How do you even do that without years of planning? You got to have years of planning in that. You run.
If your ass is on fire, you don't plan. You run. You don't think about it. You get out.
How much would have had? Like, think about the mass panic. Think about the tramples. Think about all of that.
See, we're overthinking. This is like Congress. You're being like Congress. Just drop the fucking bomb. Drop the bomb. We've done it before. We're the only country that's ever nuked somebody. It's not a threat. We actually fucking did it. It's a warning.
Yes, hey, guy. I have a guy who wants to actually rant his rage. His name is Dennis. You want him in on this?
I could care less.
All right. Dennis, call in. Call in when you get the chance. Or I'll add you. I don't know. I'm not very good at this Skype business.
Yeah, so, don't pay for Skype, people.
You don't have to pay for Skype. That's why it sucks.
Protest Skype. Racist.
Skype is racist. Wait, okay. So what's not racist?
Everything's racist.
Everything
if you're white,
is racist.
You're a racist. You're a racist bastard. You owe somebody something. I'm not saying black people have that mentality. Look, the thing that bothers me about these radicalized groups, I'm not talking about black people, I'm talking about these radicalized black groups. And these BLMers, these people representing black people, radical group, hatred, being anti-white or not pro-black is racism, which is incorrect. You don't have to be pro-black or pro-Asian just because you're not necessarily pro-something doesn't mean you're anti-something. Think about it. Right. It's ridiculous. And if you're white, obviously you're racist. That's the mentality of these radicalized groups. It's the same. It's the black version of the KKK is what it is.
Well,
right? It's not helping anybody.
Well, what I read something that actually a Black Lives Matter representative wrote. And funny thing, she had her PayPal address right on the top of the article. And she says that white people, if they want to help the movement, they should will all of their possessions to someone black or brown. And then she had her PayPal at the top. It kind of took away it took away every bit of start she had in her argument with her PayPal account right on the top. Not an organization, not Black Lives Matter, her own.
Well, of course. It's like that lieutenant governor, where was it, Missouri, who wouldn't retract her comment that she wished to see the president of the United States assassinated. It's a lieutenant governor. Yeah, and, of course, she was immediately asked to step down by her own party, blah, blah, blah. Yep. But, look, here's something that bothers me with history. And a lot of, I don't know if all black people, I don't know how they feel about reparations, but that's one of the issues that I absolutely hate hearing about, where dead people's legacies of other dead people owe them money. I mean, where does that end if we're going to go back in history? Yeah. You know, okay. It's infinite as far as we're aware as humans. White people don't owe black people anything,
right?
More than they've already achieved. If you want equality, be equal. Stop asking for things. And why are you asking people that had nothing to do with slavery in the first place? You're not your brother's.
Yeah, I feel it is. It's ridiculous to me. It really is.
And here's a history lesson real quick.
Yeah.
The people that enslaved the blacks, this is going to be a shocker, kids,
all right,
were blacks.
True.
Right?
Tribal.
Black tribes would overtake other tribes, and they would enslave that other tribe, and if they didn't eat them, they would sell them to the slave traders for money, or probably beads and maybe some 22s, and then they'd send them over to the United States, where these horrible slave owners would house them, educate them, and clothe them. Yeah. Granted, it was still slavery, but anyway, hence progress. I'm just saying.
I mean, Sally Hemings got to fuck Thomas Jefferson. How many women would want to do that?
And now they're calling him a racist.
Yeah, I'd say that's the antithesis of racism, right? If you're willing to have sex with somebody who is of another race, I'd say you don't have anything against them at all.
And I heard he paid her. It wasn't a check. I'm not saying that all black women who sleep with whites are prostitutes. I'm just saying she was compensated for her sexual activity.
Well,
she was a prostitute. I don't know.
Well, that's the very definition of prostitution now, isn't it?
I don't know. You gave me the definition of marriage.
That's one of those things you can't pin down. The definition of marriage.
Right. How long are we doing this show?
Oh, Jesus. We're about to wrap up, I think. I think we've done pretty good.
There's a rule of thumb
in
high-tech professional broadcasting, which this is.
Yes.
Regardless of where you're listening to this show, even though the quality of the phone call probably sucks.
Yeah.
But that aside, because that's the Asians' fault, probably North Koreans, and they're dirty, filthy people, obviously. Ask other Asians. North Koreans are I was going to say the blacks of the Asians. That would have been a racial slur. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is a show like this, way better than Alex Jones or any of these other clowns. And if and when we do another show, we expect to be paid. Just to let you know. Lots of money. Stuff.
Lots of money. Sponsors.
Stuff.
I want to be sponsored. Yes. I want to be sponsored by Whiteout.
And Cougarans.
That's right.
They're out.
I want to be sponsored by Magnums.
Yes, Magnums and Black and Mild plastic tip.
King Cobra.
85 cents.
Swisher Sweets. Hell
don't forget to go to your local Walmart and pick up your dead fetus.
That's right.
Your fetus with accessories coming out this Christmas. It'll be great.
It's gonna be the biggest thing since the Furby. I'm telling you.
Fetus. Who doesn't want twins?
All right, Guy. You got anything else to say before we wrap this show up?
What is it? Hurricane Harvey. Very racist. Very racist.
Yes. That's it. I agreed. All right. Rage Live is out. Good night, everybody. He is a suburban husband who hates his life. He is a has-been old fart. Together, they create rage. Rage Live on Spreaker.com.